The brainwashing of Patty Hearst, kidnapping, trauma, and transformation. Some stories sit at the crossroads of crime, psychology, and human vulnerability. Patty Hearst is one of them. Her kidnapping in 1974 became one of the most debated cases in American history, not because of what was done to her, but because of what she became. Patty Hearst was a college student and the granddaughter of newspaper tycoon William Randolph Hearst. She grew up wealthy, sheltered, and largely unprepared for the violence that would suddenly define her life. One night in February 1974, a militant group calling itself the Symbionese Liberation Army broke into her Berkeley apartment. They beat her fiancé, blindfolded her, and dragged her away. Within minutes, her ordinary life was over. The Symbionese Liberation Army, known as the SLA, was a small but violent radical group. They believed American society was corrupt and unjust, and they targeted symbols of wealth and power. Patty Hearst was not chosen at random. To them, she represented privilege, influence, and everything they claimed to oppose. For weeks, Patty was held in extreme isolation. She was confined to a dark closet, blindfolded, threatened with death, and cut off from normal human contact. Psychologists know that prolonged isolation and fear can dramatically alter perception. When the brain is deprived of stability, it clings to anything that reduces uncertainty, even the voices of captors. What happened next shocked the world. Patty reappeared not as a hostage, but as a declared member of the group. She adopted a new name. She posed in photographs holding a rifle. She participated in a bank robbery. She publicly denounced her family. To the public and law enforcement, it looked like betrayal. To psychologists, it raised a disturbing possibility. The technical term is coercive persuasion. It describes a process where fear, isolation, sleep deprivation, and constant pressure slowly dismantle a person's sense of identity. Over time, survival replaces resistance. Agreement becomes instinct. The victim begins to internalize the worldview of those who control their safety. Some observers compared Patty's behavior to what is often called Stockholm Syndrome, where captives form emotional bonds with their captors. However, psychologists caution against oversimplifying her case. Patty's situation involved extended captivity, ideological pressure, and identity reshaping, making it far more complex than emotional attachment alone. Her transformation raised a question that still unsettles people today. Did Patty Hearst truly believe in the group's cause, or was she doing whatever was necessary to stay alive? When Patty was eventually captured by authorities, the nation was deeply divided. Some saw a privileged woman who had willingly joined extremists. Others saw a traumatized victim whose mind had adapted under unbearable conditions. Her trial became a collision between law and psychology. In 1976, the court rejected the brainwashing defense. Prosecutors argued that Patty had opportunities to escape and chose not to. She was convicted of bank robbery and sentenced to prison. At the time, concepts like coercive control and psychological captivity were poorly understood by the legal system. Years later, perspectives began to shift. Her sentence was commuted by President Jimmy Carter, and decades later, she received a full pardon from President Bill Clinton. By then, psychologists and legal scholars increasingly recognized how extreme trauma can distort judgment and behavior. Today, Patty Hearst's case is studied not for its politics, but for what it reveals about the human mind. The world prefers simple categories: hero or villain, victim or criminal. Patty Hearst exists in the uncomfortable space between them. Her story reminds us that identity is not a fortress. Under fear, isolation, and control, it can be reshaped without permission. And that truth is far more unsettling than any crime itself.